Hello everyone, this is Ajay from IIT MADRAS. Today I have come to you topic, fastest law of fluids. Fastest law of fluids, what fastest law of fluids says, what fastest law of fluids says. Last time we studied about, last class we studied about the pressure on mountain, the pressure on mountain climber, what pressure on mountain climber, experience for example. So there are two types of pressure on mountain climber. The pressure was P equal to P plus PA, and the pressure was P plus N rho D.
Hello everyone, today we are with our new topic, that is fluid mechanics. What do you mean by fluid mechanics? Fluid is nothing but it is a substance which can flow. Fluid is a substance.
सैया ने देखा ऐसे मैं पानी पानी हो गई मैं पानी पानी हो गई
Which can flow. A substance which can flow is also known as fluid. Which can flow is also known as fluids. There are two categories in a fluid. First one is any liquid. Any liquids. Second one is gases. Liquids and gases both simultaneously can flow. Both can flow simultaneously. So we are assuming that both are fluids. What we are interested in now is just fluids. Fluids are the substances which can flow and which is consisting of the substances liquids and gases. Liquids and gases. Two substances, liquids and gases. Gases can also flow from one place to another place. Particles in a container can move irregularly or anywhere they can move. Particles of gases in a container or liquids. Liquids you are seeing in day-to-day life. For example, water. Water can flow. Water can flow. Water can flow. Any of the liquid can flow. Okay. So liquids are having the property to flow. Sea tide, high tides and low tides in the sea. High tides and low tides in the sea. Tidal effect. Tides in the sea. Oceanic tides, oceanic waves. Waves are the flow of liquids. That is water. Flow of water is known as waves. So our unit is today fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics is the mechanics of fluids. Studying the causes and how fluids behaves is known as fluid mechanics. So we will first of all we will study about the fluids, types of fluids, pressure, and we will move on to our topics. This unit of physics is also known as hydrostatics. Study of fluids at rest. Study of fluids at rest is also known as hydrostatics. Study of fluids at rest is also known as hydrostatics. So hydrostatics in which fluid mechanics, or we can also say it as mechanical properties of fluids. We are going to study about mechanical properties of fluids. So the first thing we are studying is pressure. Okay, what do you mean by pressure? The first thing in this chapter is pressure. Pressure denoted by P. Pressure is also denoted by P. Okay. Pressure is nothing but it is the force per unit area. Pressure is the force per unit area. Consider a syringe. Consider an injection or syringe. Consider an injection or syringe. Whenever the doctor is applying the syringe, whenever we are sick, so this syringe is exerted by some pressure. Some pressure is exerted through a small area in this syringe. So the pressure exerted, the liquid can travel in our body. So okay, the fluid enters in our body. So this pressure is nothing but some force is applied through this area. Some force F is applied through this point. Okay, and it was on some area, some particular area. The force was on some particular area. So pressure is nothing but it is the force per unit area. Pressure is the force per unit area. Is it clear? Pressure is the force per unit area. Next we are defining this force as load, or this force is also known as thrust. We are talking about the thrust here. The force exerted here is also known as thrust force. Which force? Thrust force. So pressure is also known as thrust per unit area. Pressure is the thrust per unit area. P is equal to thrust upon area. Okay, so whenever we are shifting this area to this side, to LHS side, we are getting the expression F is equal to PA. The thrust force is equal to P times A. Pressure times area is known as thrust. The expression for thrust is given by pressure times area. We are talking about SI unit of water, SI unit of pressure is pascals. Okay, SI unit of pressure is Pascal, Newton per meter square. Force unit is Newton and area unit is meter square. So Newton per meter square is the SI unit of pressure. It is also denoted by Pascal. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. PA. In short, we are saying it PA. Which example we had taken in terms of pressure? Syringe. Which one? Syringe. At the holy times, some boys are playing, some people are playing through some toys, which is also known as pichkari. So whenever you are applying some pressure on the pichkari, so the water is coming out. Okay, water is coming out whenever you are applying some force. Okay, you are applying some force to a particular area. So the pressure is exerted and new quantity arises, which is known as pressure. And the SI unit of this quantity is known as pascals. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. Again, pressure. This is the simplest expression for pressure. Now we are going to study about various effects of pressure. Effect of gravity on the pressure, or we can say it as pressure variation due to height. Okay, pressure variation up to a height. Okay, consider some fluid in a container. Some fluid is kept. Okay, some fluid or some liquid is kept. We are considering about some fluid. Okay, some liquid in a container. So assume it as water only. Okay, so some pressure is there inside this container. Some pressure is there on water. So any liquid or water, some pressure is exerted inside. So we are considering a liquid column here. We are considering a liquid column here. A liquid column. In this particular area, say this area is A. Particular area is A. In this particular height, we are considering H. This height is H. So what is the expression of pressure in terms of these parameters? The density of this fluid is rho. Rho is the density of this fluid. So we had considered these many things. And one more thing, whenever some fluid is kept in a container, we are interested in acceleration due to gravity. We are interested in acceleration due to gravity. So what we are having? Pressure P, area A, height H, and the density of the fluid rho, and acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is g. So what we are interested to find the pressure. We are interested in finding the pressure. Next, since we know pressure is equal to force per unit area. Pressure is equal to force per unit area. Okay, so what force in terms of mass and gravity? Force is nothing but it is m times g. Force is m times g, mg. F is equal to mg. Since F is equal to mg upon area. What is the basic definition of density? Density is nothing but it is the mass per unit volume. It is the mass per unit volume. What we want is just the value of mass. We will shift this V to above side and we will get the expression for mass. Rho V is equal to mass. Density times volume is the mass. Density times volume is the mass. Next, we will put this value of mass in the expression of pressure. P is equal to density times volume into gravity and per unit area. Per unit area. We had arrived up to this form. And now the next step and the last step is volume is the product of area and height. Volume is the product of surface area and height. Volume is the product of surface area and height. Put A into H instead of V. So which expression we are going to get? Take a snapshot of it. This height was H. So since we know P is equal to H times rho, okay, H times rho, area into height be the volume. So rho times V, that is area into height. Volume is nothing but it is the surface area and product of height. Next it is multiplied by G and per unit area. So this area to area will be cancelled out. This area to area will be cancelled out. Then the final expression for pressure is P is equal to H times density times gravity, H rho g. P is equal to H rho g in form of height, in terms of height, density and acceleration due to gravity. Pressure variation due to gravity is also termed, and pressure variation on height, on a particular height, the pressure is given by this expression. So this is an important expression. Note it down please. Note it down.